I don't know how you come up with a good premise, except for looking at the world around you. The thing I know is that you have to have a good premise in order to do stuff that's funny. So, as a comedian, you always have your eye open. It's kind of like, have you ever bought a new car? And you've looked at that car, you don't see anywhere. You go into the showroom, you buy a car, you drive out there all over the place. Okay? Same thing when you start doing comedy. Like when people take my comedy class, they start to notice funny things or things that don't make sense all over the place. And then you, as a comedian, you go, well, what's funny about this? And a lot of times it's stuff that people see every single day. You know, you might drive by a starving artist sale. You see the sign out there, starving artist sale this Friday, and you're thinking, well, shouldn't those people be dead by now? It's just that normal stuff. Kids, one of my students came up with, I think you ought to name your kids after the things that you can no longer afford once you have them. You know, Mercedes, come over here, get away, leave Bentley alone, would you? Hey, food. No. So that's stupid stuff like that. And then it's, once you have the premise, and that's the key, is finding a unique premise that other people haven't beaten to death. So you don't want to do drunk driving, blind dates, she's so fat, he's so fat, I'm so bald, I've got a big nose, no, whatever. Find unique things, and usually that comes from your way of looking at life. And once you find that unique premise, that's when the work comes building on it. Because comedy, I would think probably the same thing as photography. It's the 80-20 rule. That there's 20% that are really doing it right, that are making the money, that are breaking the new paths, and there's 80% that are just making a living or not making a living or just traveling along, you know, with the pack. A good comedian, Dennis Wolfberg, Seinfeld, those guys used to work at least 4 hours a day on their material. They'd perform at night, they'd record it, they'd listen to it the next day, they'd start to rework things. You might spend an hour just trying to take one word out of a sentence. Where I would say 80% of the comedians, I thought of something funny today, I'll try it out on stage tonight. And that's it. And they'll try it on stage, and if it gets a laugh, they might work with it a little more. Something funny comes to them 6 months down the road, they might add to it. But once they have that initial routine that's I guess starting to get them paid, I think most comedians don't put the work into it. If they did, if they put the same work into it that an actor puts into his career, a musician puts into theirs, a dancer puts into theirs, you ever see how hard a dancer works? All right? Sports player, like football player, they put that type of work in every day, they'd be incredible. But there's only like that 20%, I think, that'll actually put that type of work in.